Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. Today, we are the final part of the Pokemon Center experience, specifically the paying and the voucher redemption for those that won the lottery items. This will be the last part of the Pokemon Center purchase, and this is us. It's not just because of the workflow. I try to do it the last because this is the most disappointing part of the whole experience. I can't even give it a score. I'm just gonna say if it's a course like college courses pass and fail, this is a failure. Failed big time. So the line to purchase was pretty clear. There will be someone that stopped and asked a question: do you have vouchers? Like, as in, if you win any of the items, that go on lottery. Is either yes or no. If you know, you go to shorter line. If yes, you go to the bigger line. It's basically the same area. Doesn't make a difference. The line is very quick. So that's the con. That's the pros. There's a person in direction was clear, line is quick, but everything else after this is downhill. So the usually people, it's not like going 7-Eleven or whatever you equivalent convenience store. It's not just gonna buy one or two items. Most people buy a bunch of items. I would dare say most people probably buy more than 10 items in the store on average. So what happened is the cashier counter area is extremely small. It's not tailored for packing or putting things in a bag for a large abundance quality of goods. They basically don't even have those like little metal rack. Like when you go grocery shopping, there's the metal rack that hold the bag for you. They don't even have that. So they actually ask the customer to hold the bags for them open so that they can scan and put it in faster, and not making any mistakes that way. So it's not biggie. I mean, customer has hands, they can help packing if anything. But the problem is, before they do that, they ask for voucher and ID. So you were holding your voucher and ID while you try to hold the bag at the same time. Not the best. Not the best thing. My husband is not helping either, so it just makes it bad. They will scan the items as quickly as possible, and unlike Costco or any other regular grocery store, you will not have a screen of seeing what just scanned and count if they're scanning the right things. You hope for the best that they scan the right items. So probably one or two, maybe the worst case scenario. Assuming we got lucky, we didn't get any problem with that part. So I was holding the bag, he's scanning and trying to put it in. Of course, he just dumped it in as he's scanning because he would not have time to organize it because it's a very, very small counter space. As soon as he fill a bag, he has no space to put a second bag next to there. He has to put it on the floor. It was really bad, like spacing wise and everything. They should have done a dry run, if you ask me. Like, it would be easily caught for that kind of spacing and problems. It just didn't make sense to me at all, that whole checkout experience. So you finish, you pay for the voucher, including the voucher items, which they already gave you the paper ticket. You pay for everything right there, and then you're supposed to go out and redeem. I use the word go out and redeem very loosely. There's no signs of telling you where to redeem. So he was like, oh, just walk straight and then you go redeem. And I was like, okay, walk straight as in out the door, because if I look straight, it was literally out the door. There's nothing in between. So he was like, no, don't go out the door. Don't go out the door. Turn like left. I was like, turn left? That's a wall, because it looks like the wall of the thing. So apparently there's a hidden corner behind the wall that they have two tables, like as if you're selling lemonades, that kind of tables with all the items, lottery items, and there will be one person taking your tickets and checking what you have. And then there's a little window, like a restaurant window. You have a bell that you get, like that little tiny window you pass food out. That's what they use to put the item out through that window. So they call in, it's like one jukebox, and then they bring out a jukebox from that little tiny window there. So it doesn't, the whole setup is like worse than a lemonade stand. Because a lemonade stand, you just customers in between. You don't have a tiny wall with a hole to pass things out like that way. You have a bunch of people trying to claim their prize probably. And it just not, they don't have bags ready to put the things. Like, they didn't already have the, for example, if they already have the jukebox in the bags, people can say, oh, one jukebox, and then just grab the bag and go, right? No, they have to wait for the jukebox to come out from that little tiny window, put it in a bag, hopefully someone helping them to hold the bag, and then before they pass it to you. So it's extremely, extremely unnecessarily not well coordinated. And then after that, we figure out both of the jukebox that we got is damaged in terms of the box. And we asked, and we saw on the floor they are good ones there, that the box is not damaged. So we asked for a change because we are like literally right there. It's not like we walk out the door. We are like literally still there. We literally deposit the jukebox and we notice it's damaged, and we asked for the good one. No, they said that was for display. And then I was scratching my head, but I don't want to argue at that point. I'm just tired and just want to leave because it's kind of chaotic. I don't like to be in a position that's like chaotic, I guess, in general. So they were like, that was for display. And I was thinking, who are they displaying to? There's no display cabinet. There's nothing they're displaying. They literally just lump piles of jukebox on top against the wall because they're trying to get it out, kind of. So it was kind of like really like mess up. I don't know if there's anything else I don't know, maybe we look friendly, so they just figure out to brush us off or something. I don't even want to comment on other things worse than this. This is already the worst I'm going. You guys can guess what I'm going to go next. But I was like, okay, I just want to leave at that point, so I just carry. Remember, we haven't seen the jukebox, so at that point when we got the jukebox, we basically got 2 suitcases size. Well, let's say a suitcase. Let's say a mini. What would be the best way to describe it? 2 jukebox is probably one 28-inch suitcase, like a full-size suitcase. That's how I'm going to put it. So you basically got 2 items in a little bag that is basically equivalent to the size of a suitcase. We already got like 2.5 bag of goodies from Pokemon Center. And then we got the Gyarados as well that my husband won, and that one was bigger than the jukebox, as you guys are already aware. So we probably got like 1.5 suitcase all in bags plus the 2.5 bag of goodies. Plus, we also each won a ETB, so that's another bag throw in. So we're carrying all that struggling, the bags, and struggling to go in. And meanwhile, there are people who will be rushing you to like you can't stay here, you have to go. And I was like, I can't even hold the stuff on my hands at that point yet, and they already like, you have to go. And I was thinking, what is wrong with people? Like, there's no area so that you can actually get your stuff before you go out. And it's very chaotic and unorganized. It was in the morning, maybe I give you that. Maybe it was morning, they're not ready. Freaking God, it's 10 a.m. they're not ready. Like, because our appointment is at 10, right? So it's like 10. We by that time it's probably like 11. So it just doesn't make sense. There's no area for you to kind of like gather your stuff so that your plush didn't fall out of the bag. Because I told you earlier, it was already piled into the bag because they try to shove as much stuff as the bag as possible until they cannot, so then they get the second bag. So it was really, really, really bad shape. At that point, we exited. We figured out there's no way the 2 of us can carry anywhere remotely close. Forget about going to the hotel, which is next door. It's like I can't even get out the whole convention all the way from the D, which is all the way from one end of the convention center to, say, the ACC Arena area. There's no way we can, in any shape, carry it without reorganizing, because, like, I need reorganization. This is, like, not working. And then there is right next door in the next hall, I guess Hall C, that would make it, because D is Pokemon Center, so it should be C. They have the trade and whatever section there. So that's where we head next. And I'm going to do another video of that as well. That is possibly give you a kind of heads up. That's a positive and not so positive experience as well. So stay tuned if you want to hear about that part. Just continue on the ratting. The whole like thing at the end of the Pokemon Center is absolutely not needed. Like, it's not required. They do not need you to be at Pokemon Center in order to redeem the items. The reason I said that is because for you to join the lottery, the only way you can join the lottery is if you actually had the appointment scheduled with the Pokemon Center. So it's not like if you don't have an appointment, you cannot redeem you can redeem the items. They could have separated it because it's quite a little bit to carry, kind of. I guess maybe we were lucky. We were able to win so much items, so that's why we were lucky. But it's also not necessary. It creates chaos and stress for both the staff because of the lemonade stand comparison of how small that area is, and how like they try to get people out, which I get it because it's crowd control, right? You don't want people standing around. So I get that part, but it's the part that it was being not reasonable that was my problem. And the lottery system is also like they could have done better. So there's a couple things like I mentioned before, I didn't know if I win the lottery or not because I never got a confirmation. Unlike my husband, that he got all his confirmation, I didn't get my confirmation, so I just assume. And I know my mailbox is not full. It's nowhere near full. It's not even 1/3 full for that mailbox. There's no rules actually ever set up on that mailbox, and there's nothing in the spam. So I know it's just lost in translation somewhere. They could have get it in the app through the app because you have to log in, or they can done it through the confirmation website or something. Like there's so much better they can do for the whole lottery system for that part, confirmation part, in addition to the actual allocation of the lottery, as in like for example, you either win or you didn't win, so you can give people the option to ship it home so that they don't have to pick it up there at the store. They can ship it home because in theory they already have the appointments, and you can charge them, and it's a win-win situation because you don't have to have as many people like crowding and stuff. You can do it at your warehouse somewhere instead of all shipped to the location and everyone like kind of figure out how to do it. That's one. Two is actually, like I said, put it in a bag so that's actually ready instead of a bunch of people passing on through that little tiny, tiny window. It's really tiny, guys. I can't even begin to describe how small it is. Just think of really a diner window. That's how small it is. And then they could have offered people shipping home by charging them, or they could have pick it up at a different time. Like how like you opera tickets, you show the ID and you can pick up the opera tickets, or Broadway tickets. You can also do that kind of. So someone else pick up the tickets at a later time. You don't have the all crowd in the same area as Pokemon Center because you already knew Pokemon Center is going to be crowded. So it's not necessarily, you can space it out to a different area kind of, and instead of all eggs in one basket, that's how I would put it. I just thought that whole lottery part is probably, even though we won the lottery, the execution, the operation part of the lottery is probably the worst part. From it being not labeled, from the results not communicated as well as it could be, from the actual readiness that is not ready for people to pick up the lottery. Like you pass the paper, you give the bag. It's that simple, right? It's not the fact that they were a little bit spicy in terms of the damaged bag that I'm not even going to comment. The fact that the bagging of the actual shopping experience was mind blowing. Like literally, this is not a 7-Eleven purchase that you just grab a bottle of water and go. This is like fans that love Pokemon. That's probably gonna get way more than 10 items in a store. It just it didn't add up. Like it just didn't add up. So I don't know. I guess I'm just not loving the last part of the shopping experience. The time that the entrance and the exit is probably the weakest point of the whole operation there. And it really could have done so much better for this whole experience in general. It just so many alternatives that could have made it a positive experience. So I don't know how they did it previous years. And I'm dying to know. And actually the fact that the lottery, and I already told you guys, the fact that you don't know the price and you don't know the size. I know you want the suspense to wait until the last minute for announcement, but people actually have to carry things back, kind of, and you actually have no idea what you're buying, like that you can tell people either as they're winning or as they're entering the shopping center, because at least they can plan how big the items are. That would be helpful. I was told in previous year they have coordination with FedEx so that people can ship right there. I don't know how that operation works and how well it was. It would be lovely if they have it, because like a lot of people, like including myself, cannot find boxes to ship because there was not that partnership this year. That partnership, I because I didn't experience it, but I can totally see I myself completely like love it. Kind of. It's like when you pick up, you can say, do you want to ship it directly to your home after the event, or do you want to pick it up? And then when you pick it up, you can get the options you choose. Do you want to buy a box at additional $10 or something? I mean, people would pay for it. People would pay for the box, and it's like, do you want to pay an additional $30 for shipping or whatever it is? You put your times, because you probably have their billing and their zip code and whatever. You can streamline all that without any trouble. I just thought that was lacking in the whole process. Sorry, ratting here. So, hope you guys enjoy today's really honest review on the last part of the shopping experience. And give me a like and subscribe if you want to hear more. I'll definitely do more, especially the trading part right after this. Until next time, have a good one, guys. Bye!